Sometimes they will drink extensively, and then they'll take it to the next level. They would lose their status or their high-functioning job. Hello, my name is Pej. I am an interventionist. I help people with drug addiction, alcoholism, and mental health. I try to help them get the help that they need. Today, let's talk about high-functioning addicts or alcoholics, people that work in certain places, that have higher-level jobs, but they have an addiction problem or alcoholism that they have had or has happened even over a period of time. I wanted to talk about this today because, throughout my life, when I was an active addict, every so often we would hear about the attorney that's a total cokehead, or we would hear about, we would actually see, I worked in certain fields in certain places where I would see CEOs that didn't look well, like something just looked off with them. They were sweating profusely, their attitude was a certain way, they were irate, erratic, they would say things that were, with a very, they would come at people with a very strong attitude to where it would almost scare people. It was like fierce, right? And you never knew, like, is that person on drugs or is something wrong with them? Because they hold a high level position. You'd never expect that person to actually be on drugs. When it comes to alcohol, like definitely in many different professional circles and corporate circles, alcohol is a very common thing. There's a lot of drinking that goes on, but not everybody that's drinking at those types of functions and luncheons and things like that is just a person that can have a few drinks, right? Sometimes they will drink extensively, and then they'll take it to the next level. Some people like to use and drink certain types of stimulants together, like because they complement each other, especially cocaine. That's definitely this is a drug that is used by a lot of high-functioning people. It gets you going, it makes you more attentive, more assertive, it makes you pay more attention to what you're doing, and it makes you speak much better at times because you have a lot to say. And then there's some people that get into heavier drugs like methamphetamines, and even though you might think you don't see a lot of professionals that might be using this type of drug, actually there are many people that are out there doing it. There's some people that definitely get into opiates and things like that, but they would lose their status or their high-functioning job pretty fast if they were really, really debilitated by their addiction to opiates. But when it comes to alcohol or to stimulants, you'll see that a lot in the professional world. And what I'm also seeing is lately I'm getting a lot of phone calls for people that are needing help and they want to be in a more private setting if they're going to get the help that they definitely have come to terms with the fact that they suffer with addiction or with alcohol or both. When it comes to placing them in a detox or a residential type setting, they don't want to be amongst a certain population. They don't want to be around other people that are, let's say, for example, a guy that's a high-powered attorney that's making lots of money, and a lot of people depend on him because he's so effective in his respective field, doesn't want to be in a center with a whole bunch of youngsters that are, anywhere from 18 to 25 years old that are coming off of fentanyl. Yes, they do view them in a different sense, although disease of addiction does not discriminate. But, obviously a lot of high-functioning people want to get help in a different type of setting, and so there are settings like that too. But at the end of the day, I mean, for me, what really matters is that it doesn't matter who is coming into the path of recovery. What really matters is what are you going to do to hold on to your recovery? What are you going to do to continue your recovery? What are you going to do after you go through treatment, through detox, through residential? What's your aftercare plan look like? Are you going to be involved in some kind of a recovery community? Because if you're not, more likely than none, if you're just doing it on your own and you're just doing this temporarily and you're going to go back into that field and into that profession and be around the same people and you don't have that first mental or spiritual defense against the first one, then you're pretty much as good as loaded. You're going to probably end up drinking or using again. So, I'm just putting it out there. If there are people, that need any kind of help, attorneys, high-end individuals, people that are CEOs, if you ever need my help, I'm always here. If you need somebody that's in a company that you're worried about, a lot of times people will utilize my skills or call me in to come and do an intervention on somebody that they're very concerned about, somebody that they don't want to lose as an employee because the person is valuable to their company, but they're not functioning in everyday life the way that they used to be. So the best thing is to have a professional come and help that person get the help that they need so that they can come back as a whole human being. My name is Pej. I am an interventionist, 310-596-9356.